Welcome to the ISC2 Certified in Cybersecurity course. In this series, we will build a strong foundation in cybersecurity concepts, explained in a simple and practical way. This is Part 1, Security Principles, where we will understand the core ideas that protect information and systems in today's digital world. Whether you are new to cybersecurity or starting your professional journey, this course will help you gain the right knowledge step by step. Let's begin. An organization ensures that customer records are accessible during business hours and protected from unauthorized disclosure. Which information assurance objectives are being addressed? Options are integrity and non-repudiation, confidentiality and availability, authentication and authorization, privacy and accountability. When we check the given options, the organization is making sure that customer records are available during business hours, which refers to availability. At the same time, the records are protected from unauthorized disclosure, which refers to confidentiality. Therefore, the correct answer is confidentiality and availability. Which activity best demonstrates the concept of information assurance rather than just information security? Options are installing antivirus software, encrypting data at rest, ensuring information is trustworthy throughout its life cycle, blocking malicious IP addresses. When we check the given options, installing antivirus software, encrypting data, and blocking malicious IP addresses are all examples of information security controls. They mainly focus on protecting systems from attacks. Information assurance goes beyond protection. It ensures that information remains accurate, reliable, available, and trustworthy throughout its entire lifecycle, from creation to storage, use, and disposal. That is why the correct answer is ensuring information is trustworthy throughout its lifecycle. A financial system detects unauthorized data modification and restores the original data from backups. Which information assurance principle is most directly supported? Options are confidentiality, availability, integrity, privacy. When we check the given options, the system is detecting unauthorized data modification, which relates to ensuring data is not altered improperly. It also restores the original data from backups, maintaining the correctness and accuracy of the information. This directly supports the integrity principle, which ensures that data remains accurate and unaltered except by authorized actions. Which option best describes the goal of information assurance? Options are prevent all cyberattacks, eliminate system vulnerabilities, protect and maintain the reliability of information, monitor user behavior continuously. When we check the given options, preventing all cyber attacks or eliminating all vulnerabilities is not realistically possible, and continuously monitoring users is only a security activity. The main goal of information assurance is to ensure that information is reliable, accurate, available, and trustworthy throughout its lifecycle. Therefore, the correct answer is protect and maintain the reliability of information. A healthcare organization ensures patient data is accurate, available to doctors when needed, and protected from unauthorized access. This approach reflects which concept? Options are defense in depth, risk avoidance, CIA triad as part of information assurance, least privilege. When we check the given options, the scenario mentions that patient data is accurate, integrity, available to doctors when needed, availability, and protected from unauthorized access, confidentiality. These three together form the CIA, which is a core part of information assurance. Therefore, the correct answer is CIA triad as part of information assurance. Which scenario represents a failure of information assurance? Options are firewall blocks unauthorized traffic, encrypted data is unavailable during a system outage, password complexity is enforced, logs are collected for audits. When we check the given options, blocking unauthorized traffic, enforcing strong passwords, and collecting logs are all security measures that support information assurance. However, if encrypted data is unavailable during a system outage, the information cannot be accessed when needed. This is a failure of availability, which means information assurance is not fully met. Answer is encrypted data is unavailable during a system outage. Information assurance most directly supports which organizational objective? Options are faster system performance, regulatory compliance only, trust and information used for decision-making, reduced hardware costs. When we check the given options, faster system performance and reduced hardware costs are technical or financial goals, not the primary focus of information assurance. Regulatory compliance is supported by information assurance, but it is not the main objective. Information assurance mainly ensures that information is accurate, reliable, and trustworthy, so it can be confidently used for making decisions. Answer is trust in information used for decision-making. Which role is primarily responsible for ensuring information assurance policies are followed across an organization? Options are end users, system administrators, senior management, external auditors. When we check the given options, end users and system administrators help follow and implement policies, and external auditors only review compliance. The primary responsibility for ensuring information assurance policies are defined, enforced, and followed across the organization lies with senior management, as they provide direction, resources, and accountability. Answer: senior management. Which of the following is an example of assurance through process, not technology? Options are data encryption, multi-factor authentication, documented data handling procedures, intrusion detection systems. When we check the given options, data encryption, multi-factor authentication, and intrusion detection systems are all technology-based controls. Documented data handling procedures focus on process and policy, ensuring people handle information correctly regardless of the technology used. This represents assurance through process rather than technology. Answer: documented data handling procedures. Why is information assurance considered broader than cybersecurity? Options are it only focuses on physical security. It includes policies, processes, and people in addition to technology. It replaces risk management. It applies only to classified systems. When we check the given options, information assurance is not limited to physical security, does not replace risk management, and is not restricted to classified systems. Information assurance is considered broader than cybersecurity because it covers policies, processes, and people, along with technical controls, to ensure information remains trustworthy and reliable. Answer: it includes policies, processes, and people in addition to technology. An employee logs in using a username, password, and OTP. After login, the system restricts access to payroll data based on the employee's role. What control is responsible for restricting access to payroll data? Options are authentication, authorization, auditing, identification. When we check the given options, using a username, password, and OTP is part of authentication, which verifies the user's identity. After the user is logged in, the system restricts access to payroll data based on the employee's role. This control decides what the user is allowed to access. Answer: authorization. A VPN validates a user's identity before allowing a secure tunnel to be established. Which security process is taking place? Options are authorization, auditing, authentication, access review. When we check the given options, the VPN first validates the user's identity before creating a secure connection. Verifying who the user is the process of authentication, not authorization or auditing. Answer: authentication. A cloud application allows a user to log in successfully, but denies access to the admin dashboard. What is the most likely reason? Options are authentication failed, authorization rules restrict access, session timeout occurred, encryption is misconfigured. When we check the given options, the user is able to log in successfully, which means authentication has already succeeded. However, access to the admin dashboard is denied, which indicates the user does not have the required permissions. This is controlled by authorization rules which define what resources a user can access. Correct answer, authorization rules restrict access. Which situation best represents authorization? Options are: entering a PIN at an ATM, scanning a fingerprint to unlock a device, a role-based policy allowing read-only access, verifying a digital certificate. When we check the given options, entering a PIN, scanning a fingerprint, and verifying a digital certificate are all methods of authentication, which confirm a user's identity. A role-based policy allowing read-only access determines what actions a user is permitted to perform after authentication. This represents authorization. Correct answer, a role-based policy allowing read-only access. A company wants to ensure that a user cannot deny approving a financial transaction after it has occurred. Which mechanism best supports this requirement? Options are: hashing, digital signatures, encryption, access control list. When we check the given options, hashing and encryption protect data, and access control lists manage permissions. Digital signatures provide non-repudiation, ensuring that a user cannot deny approving a transaction after it has occurred because the action is cryptographically linked to their identity. Correct answer, digital signatures. Which scenario demonstrates non-repudiation? Options are: a user logs in using multi-factor authentication, a file is encrypted before transmission, an email is digitally signed using a private key, a firewall blocks unauthorized traffic. When we check the given options, multi-factor authentication verifies identity, encryption protects confidentiality, and firewalls block unauthorized access. Digitally signing an email using a private key provides proof of origin and integrity, ensuring the sender cannot deny sending the message. This demonstrates non-repudiation. Correct answer, an email is digitally signed using a private key. Why is non-repudiation especially important in legal and financial systems? Options are: it improves system performance, it ensures confidentiality of data, it prevents parties from denying their actions, it restricts access to systems. When we check the given options, system performance, confidentiality, and access restriction are not the primary purpose of non-repudiation. Non-repudiation is critical in legal and financial systems because it provides proof of actions, ensuring that individuals or organizations cannot deny their involvement in transactions or decisions. Correct answer, it prevents parties from denying their actions. An organization collects customer email addresses only for account-related communication and does not share them with third parties. Which privacy principle is being applied? Options are: least privilege, data minimization, purpose limitation, accountability. When we check the given options, least privilege applies to access control, data minimization focuses on collecting only necessary data, and accountability relates to responsibility and oversight. In this scenario, customer email addresses are collected for a specific purpose, account-related communication, and are not used or shared beyond that purpose. This reflects the principle of purpose limitation. Correct answer, purpose limitation. Which action best protects user privacy? Options are: logging all user activity indefinitely, encrypting sensitive personal information, sharing data freely across departments, granting administrative access to all staff. When we check the given options, logging all activity indefinitely can increase privacy risks, sharing data freely and granting admin access to all staff clearly reduce privacy. Encrypting sensitive personal information protects data from unauthorized access and disclosure, which directly supports user privacy. Correct answer, encrypting sensitive personal information. Customer credit card numbers are masked when viewed by customer support staff. What is the primary objective of this control? Options are: authorization, authentication, privacy protection, availability. When we check the given options, authentication verifies identity and authorization controls access levels, while availability ensures systems are accessible. Masking customer credit card numbers limits exposure of sensitive personal data, even to authorized staff. This control is primarily intended to protect customer privacy. Correct answer: privacy protection.